Hi there, this is Mike Banks, COO of Fund&GROW, and on today's video we'll be discussing how to use unsecured business credit and non-recourse corporate credit and how you can get up to $150,000 in the next few weeks, and then over the course of our 12-month membership you'll learn how to get up to $250,000 and maintain it at low interest. And on this video we'll be discussing exact strategies that we use to create over $250 million to date for our real estate investor and business owner clients. So a little bit about who we are. We were originally a mortgage firm. We funded over $600 million, in which were primarily high-end mortgage loans. And with our combined 32 years of industry experience, we've become a leading alternative business lending source and have developed many strong relationships and affiliations that now serve our business credit clients. With the volatile nature of the financial and credit markets, our team of veteran financial professionals and these bank relationships are what have made it possible for us to continue providing funding for our clients. And since we continue to generate millions and millions of dollars each month, our clients receive and enjoy preferential treatment and a higher approval rate than the average person going through our program. So we really enjoy sharing this information. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the company life cycle. And Bloomberg states 8 out of 10 businesses fail within the 18 months due to lack of funds. But there's also another large percentage of businesses out there who fail because they lack looking for funding. Just simply lacking taking action and looking for funding is causing businesses to fail because you never know what unforeseen circumstances or even opportunities you may run into. So it's ideal to have credit lines available to you, especially business credit lines. And here's a couple quick examples just to give you a little more background about who we are. We have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and we have tons and tons of positive reviews online. If you'd like to check them out, feel free. Just a couple people talking about the funding that they've received and just a lot of good feedback there online. So let's just go ahead and dive in. I wanted to first talk about the differences between business credit and corporate credit. So first, let's start with business credit. Business credit is lent to you by the bank. When a company or investor like yourself applies for business credit, you're applying to a place like Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Key. There's tons of banks out there that offer business credit. Pretty much any bank in your area will offer it. So it's unsecured. It can be used for anything to grow your business and increase your revenues. If you need more marketing dollars, if you need to purchase some real estate, or you need money for a down payment, maybe you need some funding for rentals. A lot of our clients are out there buying turnkey rentals from some of our affiliates. Or maybe you're just in wholesaling at this point and you need more funding for direct mail. Use business credit lines because for one, it stays off your credit report, and for two, you can create a lot of value by generating rewards points, which will pay off in the long run. But before you get into applying and researching, be aware of the funding programs out there that offer you a payday loan, but they call it a line of credit. So in other words, you'll have to make daily payments, and it's not something you want to do. What you really want is a monthly payment and an easily set up account with low interest. If you go with one of those business loans, you're going to end up paying an arm and a leg, 30% interest, and you'll have to make daily payments. With business credit lines, that's not the case. You get 0 interest rates, and all you have to make is a minimum monthly payment each month. That's it. And like I said, it does not show up on your credit report. So any business credit that you get, if you apply correctly, it will not show up on your personal credit report. There is one lender out there, Capital One. They are the only lender who reports their business credit account to your personal report. So the only thing you really need is a good credit score, but we're going to talk more about that and how you can actually get around that by doing strategic negotiations and in some cases making pay downs or deleting negative items, which we assist with. And we'll get more into that here in a minute. Now let's talk about corporate credit because like I said, there's 2 different types of credit. There's the business credit, which is lent by the bank, and then there's corporate credit. Corporate credit is obtained via Dun and Bradstreet. Starts out as vendor credit lines, but after you establish positive payment history, you can increase your Paydex score up to 80, and then you'll begin getting access to the Visas and MasterCards strictly through Dun and Bradstreet, and this has nothing at all to do with your personal credit. Corporate credit is totally non-recourse, has nothing to do with you personally. It can be a bit of a hassle when you're dealing with D&B on your own because a lot of times they like to offer you things that you don't necessarily need. So in other words, they'll try to sell you things and services that you don't need. If you work with us, our program includes the business credit building through the bank and corporate credit building, which is important because you get your Paydex score built up to 80, and this is a good credibility standing for you to have when it comes to applying for other types of loans for your business. You need to have personal credit history, business credit, as well as corporate credit through Dun and Bradstreet. Having all of that really it will allow your business to get the kind of loans that you really want to get. So today we're going to get more in depth and cover the formation of a lendable entity, building business credit, the negotiations process, and the appeals process, which is the most important part of this video. We're also going to discuss how to establish the non-recourse corporate credit, like we just went over. And then we're going to discuss how to get cash from credit cards that is not a cash advance. So that's something you're really going to want to learn. You can use that in any scenario. And then, of course, funding and growing your business is the main mission of the video today. So let's start with unsecured business credit funding. You can get up to $250,000 in 12 months. Some people are able to get more than that. It depends on how you come into the program. Now, it does not appear on your personal credit report. So if you get $100,000 and you're using all of it, that debt is not going to count against you on your personal credit report, which is very, very important. You're going to get extended zero interest rates. You're going to get cash access, and there is no collateral required. They're unsecured accounts, so you do not have to worry about putting up any asset or anything like that. It's an unsecured account, so if you stop making payments for whatever reason, you don't lose the asset, which is a big benefit to this type of funding. We're also going to help you set up a lendable entity. So we're going to go over that a little bit more right now. Basically, when you go into our program, whether you're a startup or a seasoned investor, it doesn't matter because we can set up an entity for you in a lendable industry and match your years of seasoning. And the way we do that is by matching your years of industry experience because we set this entity up for banking purposes only. You can utilize multiple entities. It's not an issue whatsoever. This is an added benefit and a luxury to any business owner or investor out there. And then the funds can be lent or deposited directly to one of your operating entities. This will be set up for banking purposes only. We're able to put it in the most lendable industry. So if you're a startup, don't worry about it because it's not going to be an issue. If you're a startup, we're able to match your years of industry experience. This is not going to be claiming that you've been in business for 20 years. It's going to be matching your years of industry experience. So a couple reasons why you need business credit. Obviously, you have more buying opportunity. You can purchase things like real estate, spend money on marketing, and continue that process to build your business without having to worry about coming out of pocket. And there's no tax returns required, no financials, no proof of income. None of that stuff is going to be required because we're able to apply and use projections. So there's no debt to income ratio that's going to be taken into consideration as much as your credit score. So it's mostly focused on the score and your business industry, which we're going to help you with. If, let's say, you're in real estate, we'll help you reposition into a more lendable entity that will get you larger results when you apply. And why is that? Real estate's not the most lendable industry when it comes to business credit and business loans. Okay, and you're also going to keep this credit off of your personal report. It's business credit, so it stays off your personal report. You get cash access. You can invest however you please without having to worry about bringing on any investors or partners and giving up stake in your company. So those are just a few reasons why you should use business credit. Here's some more benefits. You can buy and rehab real estate. You can remove debt from high-interest personal credit loans. You can finance marketing campaigns, pay off equipment, invest in training programs, keep your business and personal expenses separate, which is important. It's very important to keep those two separate. Hire staff, build your team, invest in passive income. We have a couple programs for that. Here's a quick example of one of our clients. This client actually is a used car dealership owner and also a pawn shop owner. But after working with us, he got into real estate. Every 90 days with the funding that we got him, he's doing a flip in addition to purchasing automobiles, selling at his used car lot, and also in addition to his pawn shop. So this guy's doing 3 different ventures, and he opened up a new income stream because he got into our program and got the funding. Okay, the strategic negotiations we talked about earlier, this is very important. You want to make sure that you contact, if you're going to do this on your own, it does take time, but make sure you do it if you apply. If you don't work with us and you do apply on your own, make sure you do this process. To get the largest amount possible, you have to discuss this with a decision maker, and it's not easy to get in contact with the decision makers. They're usually busy or they don't even accept calls in many cases. But for us doing this, for our team, it's a bit easier because we're putting hundreds of clients through this program a month. So we're able to reach directly out to our contact at the bank. At each bank that we work with, we have relationships with these lenders. So we're able to get in direct contact to discuss and review your application. Whereas an average consumer to do this on their own, there's going to be a ton of sitting on hold, getting transferred and bounced around through the bank, and slowly, if any, getting progress. So going through the program, working with us, we have a team. Many of our staff members here used to work at the bank, at Chase, Bank of America, et cetera, and now they work for us, and they're working on behalf of our clients, helping them get the largest amount possible. And they actually get a commission based on the amount that they get. So that's a big part of what we do. We have some accounts that start out as a zero. They're denied to begin with. It's not until we do the negotiating process that we have these accounts overturned and then increased into large, substantial amounts that you can actually invest with and make an impact in your business. So make sure that you really carry this process out. You put in a lot of time. It usually takes us about 2 weeks per client for this process to be completed. And there's a good amount of man hours going into it. So make sure that you set aside the time. If you do plan on applying on your own, make sure you set aside a good amount of time and make sure you follow up on this stuff. It has to be done in a timely manner. It cannot be done or procrastinated on a month down the road, because your application will be shut down if you don't follow up and negotiate these accounts within 30 days. Okay, and like I said, we have a team of ex-bankers here. Their priority and focus is entirely on getting your accounts approved to the largest amount possible. We actually will follow up with the bank up to 8 times per application. So this is something that allows us to maximize the amount of funding we get, but also it allows us to minimize the amount of applications we have to put out, because we're able to get funding with each application. There's other firms out there who have to submit a ton of applications at once just to get a couple approvals. That's not at all how we operate. We are able to submit as few applications as possible and get them all approved for you. So that allows you to apply to less places, which will put less inquiries on your report. That's why the negotiations process is so important, because we're able to follow up on each account. We're able to get the largest amount approved per credit line that we apply for. So the strategy is going to multiple banks and building up to $250,000 over the 12-month period. We typically apply 4 times for you over the 12 months that we work with you. And there's about 40 banks, if not more than that at this point, that offer zero interest accounts. And what we do is we apply 4 to 5 banks within your first 30 days, and we repeat that process over the 12-month period 4 times. In the first batch, you might get 30,000 to 150,000, somewhere in between. And then on the next batch, a couple months after that, we're going to repeat the process. So that's exactly how we're able to build up to $250,000 through our membership. And in many cases, we'll be able to merge your new account with the old account, which will put the balance together, but also will allow you to keep a longer period at zero interest. So you're going to merge the account. We're going to assist you with this and hold your hand the whole way through it. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to get an extension on the amount of time that you have zero interest. So it might start out as a 12-month offer, but after we do this process, and some people refer to it as card stacking, some people refer to it as leapfrogging. Either way, what we're doing is applying multiple times throughout a 12-month period, usually 4 times, and then we're able to merge accounts to extend the amount of time you have zero interest. We're also going to help you remove the cash from these accounts. This is a big part, especially for the real estate investors out there. We're going to show you how you can use these zero interest credit lines as cash and not pay any ridiculous fees associated normally with a cash advance. So you're going to eliminate paying cash advance fees, closing costs, transaction fees, annual fees. And honestly, banks love lending through credit. It costs them a lot less money. It requires less manpower to approve and set up a credit account. And so we make that even easier for you so that you can use it like a credit line. And depending on the needs, some prefer to use cards to pay contractors, whereas others need the cash. So we have those options available, and there's multiple strategies and ways that you can do that. Okay, here's another quick example of a client who got $140,000 by going through our program, and he says it proved to be rocket fuel for his business, says that we're invested in our client's success, and he could not be more impressed with the follow-through. Thank you for that, Joe. And now we're going to talk a little bit about personal credit, because it does tie in a bit to business credit. So personal credit positioning is something you'll receive going through our program. Our credit analysts will advise you on ways you can strategically balance your debt to maintain a 35% debt to limit ratio. And if you're not at that mark yet, we will help you create a custom strategic pay down plan that will show you exactly which accounts to pay down and what percentage you need to pay them down over the next few months. We'll set up a 2 to 3 month pay down plan for you. And with that, you'll be able to clearly understand what accounts to pay down, and you'll see it on a timeline in such a way that you'll have a goal in mind and be able to focus on that and get those accounts paid down over the next couple months, rather than continuing to carry the debt and not really get anywhere with your credit. In this scenario, if you follow our strategic pay down plan, in the next couple months, you'll be qualified to get the largest amount possible. Let's say you have any negative items on there. We have a sister company who can help you remove any of those negatives. They've removed bankruptcies 4 years early. They've removed all kinds of things early before they were supposed to fall off. So if you have anything like that on your report, keep listening, keep watching, because we're going to get in more detail on how you can get that stuff repaired and removed from your report. Now, quick funding, frequently asked question: do the business accounts report to my personal credit? I have a Capital One card that does. So that's a good question. The example is Capital One is the only business credit account that reports to personal credit. So obviously we don't utilize them as much as we would the other lenders. So if you have a Capital One account and it's showing up on your personal report, that is why. Capital One, for whatever reason, is the only bank that reports to personal. There's no other bank that reports to personal. What are the monthly payments on the credit accounts? They're usually 1% or less of the balance. So if you're carrying a $30,000 balance, your payment will only be $300. So it's 1% of the balance. That's your minimum monthly payment. And here's some qualifications. For those of you that were wondering, this is how you qualify. And if you don't have these qualifications right now, you can still work with us. About 30% of our clients come to us and they don't have the qualifiers that they need. It's not until they work with us and get the help that they need through our program that their scores go up to over 700. But on the other side, there's tons of other clients who start our program with 700 plus scores, and they get access to funding within the first 30 days. So if you don't have the good credit, you can still work with us. We'll help you improve and position your credit so that you are over 700, like we just talked about. If you need help with, let's say, strengthening your personal credit report, we can do that by increasing personal limits. Let's say you need to remove some hard inquiries, or like I said before, maybe you have a couple late payments, whatever the case might be, we can still help you with that. We're going to come up with an individualized consulting plan for you, and we're going to show you exactly the plan of action over the next 12 months. And if there's anything that we would need you to do, simple things like making a couple pay downs, we'll have all of that in this funding plan for you so that you can clearly see and understand what the process is going to be, and then follow that process and really keep that goal in mind, because that's really what we want. We want to create a plan and follow the plan. We don't want to just go in and throw a bunch of stuff at the wall and see what sticks. We want to really come up with a strategic plan, especially if you need personal credit help. If your personal credit scores are low right now, we're going to come up with a funding plan for you so that you can clearly see over the next couple months the progress that's going to take place and pay downs and things like that that might be required. But it's all going to be very straightforward and clear cut. Here's a quick flow chart just to give you an idea of the process going through our program. So if you get signed up, you go to your consultation. On your consultation, we review your credit. We go over the whole plan of action. From there, we either move you to applications, or if you need credit help, you get credit help instead of going to applications for the first couple of months. Sometimes it takes even 1 month, but usually it's about a couple months if you need credit repair. So if you don't need credit repair, you go right into applications. We start creating the funding for you if your credit's good to go. And from there, we could take care of everything. We submit the application. You don't do any of it. And then we also carry out the negotiations process and help you with inquiry removal. So the negotiations process consists of us following up with the bank on each application and getting each application approved, reviewed by an underwriter, and increased to the largest amount possible. So corporate credit is through Dun and Bradstreet. Now this is the secondary type of credit that we've been talking about. We brushed on this earlier in the beginning of the video, but now we're going to get more into detail about what corporate credit is. So corporate credit is through Dun and Bradstreet. It's got no personal guarantee required. There's no credit check. There's no personal credit check involved. It's non-recourse, and it's based on the company only. Doesn't affect you or your personal credit. one of the big benefits of Dun and Bradstreet is that you're building your corporate credit profile and your corporate credit rating, your PAYDEX score. This helps when you're applying for other loans in general. So it's important to have this just from a credibility standpoint. You should have corporate credit building going on so that you're able to show the most credible history when you apply for any type of loan. So this really will help you. And through the program, you'll be able to build a vendor credit foundation. You're going to build your PAYDEX score up to 80, and you'll be able to get guaranteed credit approvals without having good personal credit. So this is important. You get vendor credit lines set up with places like Amazon, Dell, Home Depot, and Gempler's, and the list goes on and on. There's tons of vendors out there that you can get these accounts set up with. The main idea is to build your PAYDEX score to 80. This is mainly for credibility, and that's really what we're looking at this for. So if let's say you have bad personal credit, you're going to want to build corporate credit so that when you go and apply for a business loan, you have the corporate credit rating on your side. If you don't have the corporate credit rating and you have bad personal credit, it's going to be even harder for you. So it's important to have your corporate credit built and established, and it's also important to have your personal credit in good standing. So that way you can benefit from things like paying off high interest debt, consolidating your loans, or paying off other debt on other loans that you might have out there, running various marketing campaigns, purchasing homes at an auction. You can even become a hard money lender after you get access to the funding through our program. But you need the corporate credit rating and you need the personal credit rating. If you don't have that, we will help you establish all of that through our program so that you can invest in distressed real estate using these credit lines. In fact, we purchased our office building using a non-recourse, no PG loan. We were able to get that because we have the corporate credit rating that we have. So we were able to purchase our commercial office building using a loan that has no personal guarantee because of the fact that we have this type of credit established, obviously, for our company as well, and you should too. Here's just another quick example of Chris got, looks like over $120,000 on 3 to 4 different credit lines. We've helped him remove inquiries and continue that building process. He said he was immediately able to pay off a higher interest home equity line of credit and zeroed out that balance so it was available for larger purchases like another property. He really enjoyed the program. He's on Bigger Pockets, and you could find that thread there on Bigger Pockets. There's a couple other clients who are voicing the great experience they had with us on Bigger Pockets. Here's another example. David and Aaron from Connecticut received over $250,000, and they go on to say, it's been a pleasure working with our team. Folks, we've been doing this for over 10 years. We were on the Inc. 5000 list of America's fastest growing private companies. We are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. We've got tons and tons of these types of testimonials online, on our website, on our Facebook, where we have over 55,000 followers on our Facebook. We've got tons of testimonials all over the place, all kinds of social proof. And so that's what we're here in business for. We're here to get the word out and help as many people out there get access to this type of funding. And we really are passionate about it, and we really care about our clients. And that's why we offer a totally stress-free, done-for-you system so that we can take all the guesswork out of it for our clients and just handle all of the legwork and set these credit lines up for you. The way that we do that is through our 12-month program where you get unlimited coaching and credit building. That would normally cost you about $3,500 for 12 months of service alone, just for that. And then we're also, for those of you that get started, you'll be able to add on your partner. So if you have a business partner or even a family member, a spouse, you can add them on and we'll double the amount of funding we get for you. It has to be someone you know, a friend, a business partner, or family. You can add them on. We call this our free partner upgrade. We don't usually offer this, but on this video, since you watched till the end, you're getting access to it. We also show you how to remove inquiries from your credit report. That's included. We also show you how to get cash off of these accounts without paying any advance fee. Okay, and there's also going to be an entity that's going to be included. We'll set up the entity for you and match your years of seasoning, but we're also going to put it in a lendable industry. We can do this because it's set up for banking purposes only. We talked about that earlier. This is something we can do for you. We don't have to do it. It's an added benefit to working with us. And then, of course, we talked about corporate credit and how you can get your vendor credit foundation established so that you have more credibility in the eyes of the banks, and you can, in many cases, avoid a personal guarantee if you establish corporate credit. That's what our program consists of. And like I said, for the first few of you that get started today, you're going to have the option of adding your partner on for free. You can add your spouse, business partner, family member on for free if you take action on this today. So what's included again? We include the entity. We include 3 to 5 application batches, getting you up to $250,000. All the applications, negotiations are completely done for you. Our team handles that for you. We're going to give you a ton of credit consulting to maintain and improve your personal credit profile, and that includes your personal and business profile. And we're also going to help you with inquiry removal, very simple process, and also we help you with cash liquidation. It's on average a 2% fee. In some cases, it's less than that. It's usually never over 2%. So it's definitely going to help you avoid paying those outrageous cash advance fees. You just won't have to do that. It'll simply be a 2% fee to cash out the line. So if you see the value in having business credit lines in your arsenal and you'd like for our team of banking experts to take care of this process for you, go to the link and get started right now. Now, if you prefer to pay after you get the credit, you can do the option on the right-hand side, which is a performance-based option. You put no money down and it'll cost you 9% of the credit we get. So if you get $100,000, you pay $9,000. So those are your two options. If you'd like to get started, again, go to the link on your screen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We wanted to give you as much information in as short a period of time as possible. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our phone number is 800-996-0270, and you'll want to press 1 to speak with our new accounts team. That is 800-996-0270. Take action now. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee. If for some reason you don't get credit, you will get your money back. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you got something out of the video, and we look forward to working with you in the near future. Thank you so much.